Is it working?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 73rd, and I think it's the 73rd. I believe it's the 73rd. Is it the 73rd?
I think it said that.
I think it's 73rd. The 73rd episode of the Koi Marketplace. Welcome, everyone. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous Saturday afternoon. What's the date? The date is the 27th. Everyone say good morning to Michael. Michael.
Oh, wait. You're not Michael? This is Jameson. You guys have never met Jameson. Say good morning to Jameson. I'm going to put, how do we put the, all right, the speaker is low. Oh, I know why the speaker is low, because I don't have the microphone hooked up. So hold on, let me go get the microphone.
Here, just look at that.
That's Travis.
So we'll plug this into the bottom. So when there. Can you guys hear me better? Let me know if you can hear me better. Because as usual, like Michael is not here, so things don't always go as smoothly when he's not here. Let me know if you can hear me. Good morning, everyone. The green light is on this thing, so I think it's on. I think. Let me know if you guys can hear me. David, thank you for letting me know. What are they saying?
It's good morning and happy Saturday.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, as usual, I forgot something, and this time I forgot the microphone. This is Bodie. Say good morning, Bodie. Bodie just wants to play with the ball. That's all Bodie wants to do. And this is Michael for today. This is Jameson. I don't know if you guys have ever met Jameson. Jameson's been working with us for a long time. He runs a store during the week. How you doing, Jameson? Jameson is single. Jameson, how old are you?
34.
Jameson is 34. He's single, and he's ready to mingle. So if you have someone you'd like to introduce to Jameson, then please do. Excellent. And there's my son, Zach.
I'm ready to mingle too.
Over there. Zach is also single. Come on over here, Zach.
Not yet.
Come on, Zach. Come here. And there's Austin sitting over there. Say hi, Austin. Austin is a very, very, very old friend. He came and he spent a weekend with us this weekend. He should come over here. Come over here, guys. Just give it a quick second here. And here's Travis. So Michael and Gabe have taken off. Michael and Gabe may be on. They may be watching. I know that they're working, but they may actually be on the show at some point. I don't see them. Good morning, everyone. All right. So here are my two boys. Here's Travis, and many of you guys know Travis already. He's been on the show many times. How's it going, Travis? Good. Travis is showing off his many tattoos today. We probably have 200 tattoos in between these three gentlemen right here. All right, so here's my son, Zach, and you guys really haven't met Zach. I don't think you've ever been on the show. No. So Zach has not been on the show. So how's it going, Zach?
It's good. I just did the weird clap thing like you did.
That's okay. I do that every time I start the show. I do that.
Like, what do I do with my hands?
And Zach, how old are you?
36.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
No, thank you.
Where do you don't want to talk at all?
His name's Zach and he likes to party.
His name is Zach and he likes to party. And again, here's Jameson.
He likes to party too. I like to party too.
They are hanging at the beach. To them, hanging out in the corner over here, over in the chairs, is like hanging out at the beach. Zach had some Grateful Dead playing, and they're just hanging and having a good time. Travis is clearly tired, so he's just relaxing. And here's Austin. How you doing, Austin?
Doing amazing.
Austin, you are 20.
Yes, sir.
He's 20 years old, and he is a financial consultant, day trader. Very successful. He's doing a great job. And again, Single?
Yes, yes.
Also, we have a lot of single men here. And so yeah. All right, so let's get this thing started. So all of the tattoos, any of koi fish. Do we have any koi tattoos here? Not one. Do you guys? Let me ask you guys. Do you guys want to see some tattoos?
No.
Because we've never actually shown off. You could show some of your arm tattoos. Trev, let's see your arm tattoos. So the style of tattoos are what is the style?
American traditional.
American traditional. Trev, where did the frog come? Is that new?
That's Sebastian. No context.
Is this? I don't remember ever seeing that.
He's like a month and a half old, 2 months old.
Did you guys know that Trev's got Sebastian the frog on his arm?
Yeah, you knew. I don't
Okay. And then he has Star Wars on his other arm.
for now.
Lots of Star Wars for now. I don't know what that means. I don't know how you get rid of tattoos, but
Don't worry about it.
and he's got this new one there too. Jameson has quite a few tattoos as well. Just one. Is it on your back? Oh, a very large tattoo. There you go. And then Zach doesn't want to show off his tattoos. You can show off your arm tattoos.
You got a dragon.
He has a dragon, a Japanese style dragon. Now, I don't actually have any tattoos. Robin is watching. My wife also has tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. Travis is showing off his stomach, but not to the camera. But
Showing my dragon tattoo.
hey, Michael. Michael is on, and Michael is giving some hearts. So let's get this thing started. I want to thank everyone for joining. Michael and Gabe weren't able to make it, but Michael just joined onto the show. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for jumping on. I'm not sure if you're going to stay on for the whole show, but I'm glad you're able to jump on. And Jameson is manning the camera today. And lots of things going on. The guys are finishing up their spring openings. This is the last week of spring openings this week. I shouldn't say the last because something is always going to come up and we'll probably have some more. But this is the last week that we have a whole bunch of spring openings on the calendar, and then we start on projects. We have a lot of filter installs and upgrades lined up over the next few weeks. And I'd like all of us to take some vacation time. We will talk about that, Jameson. You guys taking some time off. These are the dogs that live on the property. We also have one other dog, Tom's dog, and she is downstairs. But this is Mila. You can show Mila. Mila, come here. This is Mila. Come here. Come here. Mila. All right, she doesn't want to come here. And that's Bodhi. And this is our new, we got one of these things. That was courtesy of Chris Hayes, Bonsai Chris. Chris got this for me 2 years ago, and we were going to put it up at the store when we were at Main Street, and Main Street said no. They said, you cannot use this. Can you see it behind me? Chris got it for us 2 years, and Main Street said, no, you cannot put it out. So it's been sitting, waiting for us to put out, and I finally got it out there. I had to put a chain around it because, I don't know, someone's going to drive by and grab it. I'm not so sure it's going to be so busy this weekend. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It was busier this morning. It's pretty quiet right now. There's no one here. Usually you guys see lots of cars here. This is a big family weekend. I would say a lot of our customers are already out doing whatever they're going to be doing for the weekend. They've gone away, or they're preparing to go to have people over. So I'm not sure, is it going to be busy or not? Last year at this time, I think we were pretty busy, but I guess we'll see. Here's a customer coming in right now. Usually customers start coming in. He's not coming in, he's just looking. Not coming in. He just wanted to see what was going on. I'm thinking that what do we call this guy? Should we give him a name? So that we can say, did you put so-and-so out today? Philip. Okay. All right, so his name is Philip. So I think Philip is probably going to attract some people. I wanted to try and get something printed on it. I need to talk to my shirt guy, which, speaking of shirt guy, so Michael Adrian's son, Andrew, works for a company called Fresh Prints. Yes.
See the new
Can you see the new plants, aquatic plants? Of course, of course. So Michael Adrian's son works for a company called Fresh Prints, and they're working on some shirt designs for us right now. So we're finally going to get some shirts going. The new Long Island Bonsai, LI Bonsai and Supply logos are done, so we're going to have some shirts made for that as well. And we're going to have some t-shirts and other merch in the works coming soon. I'm sorry I'm so slow with that. I know you guys have been asking for it, and it is happening. Any other questions? Yeah. Jameson is learning how to do the comments while he's holding the camera at the same time. But again, good morning, guys, and so let's take a walk. We don't need to go over to Philip because you can see Philip from a distance, and he's standing tall and proud. So I put him up too close to the wires before, and he got all caught up in the electrical over there. So I had to move him over a little bit, and I did have to chain the whole thing up. I chained it up. I did put it in a knot, but you know, I think it'll deter people from grabbing it. So come on this way. We'll go over. I mean, we haven't shown. If you guys are into bonsai, we want you to come out. Yeah, we have lots of bonsai supplies. We have lots of trees, and we are going to start advertising. We can go. You want to show all the trees off? Yeah, just walk around. Jameson's going to show his favorite, but we might as well show everything. I'm going to pull this hose in while you're doing that. Come on. So any questions regarding the bonsai, I'm definitely not the best person to answer. Jameson might actually be able to answer better than I. So Jameson is saying that this is his favorite right here. So this is a Japanese yew. And you can see all this has been carved. This is all hand carved here. Look at even the hole going through there. This has all been hand carved as kind of like a dead wood. And I forgot what they call it. They call it gin? I believe they call it gin. Chris is not here to answer me, so I could pretty much say anything right now. This tree is actually going for $245. It's in a pre-bonsai pot. So this is kind of a training pot. So you see how they have these little pieces on here. You can actually take wires and pull them down. And you can put them around here onto these pots. But this plant can be repotted when you purchase it, I guess. So that would be a Chris thing.
At the right time of year.
It has to be the right time of year to plant it, to repot it. But definitely a cool tree. I'm glad he wired these down because the wind could really come in here and move these. So we have bonsai of all price ranges. You can see the ones that are on here start at around $75, and they go all the way up into here's $125 for this Jacqueline Hillier. There's a Chinese elm. This one's $395 actually, but you can see different price points here. I believe just about everything has a price on it now. Here's a really nice forest over here. This is a hornbeam forest over here. Very cool. Now, Chris has put a lot of time and effort into creating these bonsai. Any questions?
Just if you could put them in the ground and things like that.
So could you put them in the ground? I mean, you could put them in the ground, but they would cease to become bonsai. Now, the roots and everything have been grown out from a bonsai perspective. So I'm not sure exactly what would transpire just putting it in the ground. I know that we have there's a tree all the way up front. As a pine up, I think it's a white pine up in front, that was a bonsai from the original owner that lived here, and he planted it in the ground over there. And when Mauro Stenberger came in, he was looking at the property, saw that tree, he's like, I want to take that tree out of the ground and make it back into a bonsai. So we're actually going to do that, which will be pretty cool. Yeah, take a look at the rest of the bonsai. Jameson's taking his time just going through and showing all the trees. There's all new growth here on this one here. You can see there's a lot of new growth on these trees. You can see that the darker green is the original. I think the lighter green is all new growth on this. There's a whole bunch of, we have some maples here, the Chinese quince here. This is a red Japanese maple, and this one here. Take a look at this one. This is like its privet here. Look at this right here. Now this is all carved out in there. That is so cool. It doesn't just happen like that. You know, they spend a lot of time to really clean that out and make it pronounced.
How about plans for ponds, and when do you get deliveries?
So we'll show you that next. Come on over here. This is so I actually just recently put the granite out. Since we're walking by, I might as well talk. We now have our granite out. We don't ship granite because it's so heavy, but we started putting our granite out, and these are pretty cool. I mean, they weigh, these are solid granite. If you live local, like it's really nice to get something like this to put around the pond. There's a core hole drilled all the way through, so you can actually electrify these. So you can put electric through and put some lighting in them. And there's a little wood piece that actually goes in front here. You can see the wood one is on over there. And they look really great next to a pond, in front of the house, by the entrance, or by a walkway or pathway. This is a more modern style. Also has a rounded wood piece that goes in front. And this is the corner piece. These are also really nice. I mean, you can line these down a pathway. And then we have a couple of lotus bowls here and a fountain. This is a granite fountain. And these actually, so they're solid granite. When I say they're heavy, I mean some of these pieces weigh about 300 pounds. So they're difficult to move. They're definitely difficult. So these big guys right here, I mean, this is solid granite. They're pretty cool. We set up all our fountains here. These are patio ponds. You can put a fish in these. Yeah, maybe you can put 2 goldfish in them at most. And these are all fountains from Aquascape. This is like a stacked slate wall spillway. So it has one pump down below that split 3 ways, and it goes into 3 different outlets at the top, and you can actually have lights on it too. So you can put a light down at the bottom looking up at it, and then you can have lights up at the top that are actually lighting it from the top, and it looks pretty cool.
Tower, I can't think of what it's called.
The round ones? I have to check, but I think they're in the $400 to $500 range. They are really nice, though. They're really cool. If you want to have some pictures of jobs that I've done with these in there, you can text me at 516-547-0164, and I'll forward you some of those. So you can see some of the other water features. This is the stack slate sphere. This is the medium size. Everything I have set up here is the medium size. They also have a large size. These walls that you looked at before, interestingly, they also come in a couple of different shapes. So this is the stack slate urn over here, and then this is the spillway that Jameson was just looking at. Now, I'm going to say it, and sometimes I feel like I don't have to say it, but this part, this is the basin. This goes in the ground, guys, and then you have gravel. So you can see the gravel over here. I just set it up so you can see what it looks like with gravel on it. But this base goes into the ground. You're going to dig it into the ground. You're going to level the base. It's super easy, and I think we're actually going to do one or two of these where we put them in the ground, and we're going to actually do a class on it. We'll have some people come in, and they can help us out. They can volunteer, and we're going to do an installation. So this goes into the ground, and what you do is, what we like to do, I know a lot of installers will do, is they'll take a piece of liner and put it around the whole perimeter, cut out the center, so that any splashing that splashes off will end up going back into the basin. It just makes, you will get a lot of splash from these, so you will lose some water. It's just fairly common.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, guys. So you will get some splash from it. So if you can put this bib around it and have the water come back into the basin from around, it's nice to be able to save some water. There's 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 2, and I don't have any 2-inch right now. There's 1 1/4 and 1 1/2. I think the 1 1/2 is behind. All right. So aquatic plants, we have a whole bunch of water lily types here. This one's got a lot of pads on it. This is a yellow. So this is a Joey Tomasic is the name. So a lot of these lilies are named after people, which is interesting. So you can see here's one that's just coming up right here. So you can see this is going to come up, and then this is going to open up and roll out right there. But this one has a lot of leaves on it. We sell these for $40. When you're maintaining your water lilies, you're going to keep them in. You want to fertilize them once a month. You fertilize them with a lily tab. You just take the tab, and you're basically going to push it into the pot. These just clip right off here. Now most of the places you get them will probably use a pot like this. Some of our customers actually they take the tag off and they leave this on. I don't recommend it, but they do leave it on sometimes, and it just allows them to easily pull it out so they can fertilize it. So these are all hardies. I actually have tropicals coming. For the tropicals, the water actually needs to be in the 70s. So it needs to be consistently in the 70s to get the tropicals in. Otherwise, they're just not going to make it. The tropicals, there's benefits. Well, there's positives and negatives to having hardies versus tropicals. I mean, there's the positives and negatives of both. So the negatives of having tropicals is that you have to replace them every year. It's kind of a downer, but with tropicals, you get a lot more flowers. They'll flower the entire time they're out, and they'll bloom consistently throughout that whole time, which is pretty cool. That being said, I mean, you will have to replace them if you don't have a place to bring them in every year. The hardies will come back every year, but they don't have as many flowers. The pads are generally a bit smaller versus the tropicals, and the flowers just aren't as spectacular. And you don't get as many colors on the hardies as you do as the tropicals. Although every couple of years they come out with a new one. One of the ones that Jameson was mentioning is this really interesting one, and I don't know if it's a newer type, but it's a newer type for me. This is called I'm going to call it the Juan Visa. And what's cool about this one is, check this out. Although we had some with flowers on, I don't know if you can see this picture here. It's actually a two-tone flower. So it's a yellow. It's a yellow and a pinkish red.
Most of the time when I see it, it's red on the outside and yellow on the inside.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're actually going to we should probably start fertilizing them again soon. So another round of fertilizing will happen soon. We just got these in. These are a nice little. This is a floating planter. Yeah. So you can just buy the planter and then you can float your plants and have them grow in this. There's one growing right now. That one's got a couple of things in it. I guess we sold all the ones that we had because they're not here anymore. But this one has a little chameleon plant in it. I'm not sure what this one is. That's pretty cool. This is a hardy mixed marginal. So we have a whole bunch of hardy lilies here. Here's another tank of hardy lilies. So we have red, pink, and white in this one here. You see they're growing really, really well this year. I don't see any with flowers. I don't see any flowers coming up. We had a flower on one of them last week, but I don't see any. They're just starting now. Yeah. So this one's called Almost Black, which is a red. Now we've already sold a whole bunch of our marginal plants. I mean, our marginal plant table was completely full a week ago, and now it's already, these are tropicals here. I have to order some more, but we have elephant ear in here, and these guys are still fairly young. Sorry. And some canna here. I think we'll I'll water these while we're talking, because it's hot today. You don't want the leaves to burn. Just giving a quick water while Jameson is scanning over everything.
Do you know anything about the Laguna fertilizer?
I don't know it, so I don't want to say fertilizer is fertilizer, because that's not the case either. I don't know. Guys, I'm not a fan of anything Laguna. Laguna is kind of like, they're like, I don't know, the bottom of the barrel when it comes to, like Joe generic stuff. We don't, I think the only Laguna product we carry in the entire store is a Laguna thermometer.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I will actually carry that has the Laguna name on it.
When are we get our next shipment of plants?
I'm waiting for it to warm up a little more. Although it's hot right now,
One of those guys underneath those shakes that.
although it's warm right now, our evenings have still been in the 40s. So I think all the week this week, I think it's in maybe the upper 40s, which isn't great for some of the plants that I want to bring in. So it's going to be a little bit before I bring those in, maybe another week or two. But we will be planning to bring in some more stuff. What is it you're looking for? So tell me what you're looking for. How many people are on?
25.
25 people on. Let me know what you're looking for, and I'll tell you if it's something that we can get in. We are getting in tropical lilies. We're getting in night bloomers, which are really cool, which are lilies that only bloom at nighttime. Huge variegated leaf. I really like those. All right. Oh, and by the way, I went online and I did a search for the best hose reel, and this one, Giraffe Tools, came up. What a piece of crap this thing is. This was rated as the best available. So I was like, all right, we're in a commercial setting. I want to make sure I get the best one. And like within the first day, it stopped working properly. Like it doesn't pull all the way in. The hose is garbage. The nozzle is, yeah. What a piece of garbage. Don't buy it. So we already sold out on pretty much all of our water lettuce. That went really quickly. We have a couple which we should just probably put away and let them grow. I think there's two over there. So we have our hyacinth in, and I mean it's kind of small, but we got them from two locations. We got it from Florida, and we got from I think from Connecticut. But you can see our hyacinth. I mean they got a ways to go to start blooming some flowers. Number one, and really start some offshoots. The hyacinth are great, but they are an invasive species. They do allow them. There are certain species like parrot's feather that used to be sold here in New York that they no longer sell because parrot's feather will actually come back. And because it's an invasive species and because it comes back, it was banned. So we can no longer sell it. Hyacinth and water lettuce, on the other hand, will die. As soon as it starts to get cold out at nighttime, it'll start to burn and then it'll eventually die. Interestingly, if you have a really big pond and you put this in there, it will literally take over your entire pond, and you'll end up having to throw a garbage truck full of hyacinth away. So it is something that you have to manage. You put them in and they will grow, and eventually you'll have to start throwing them away because they'll just take over the entire pond. We also have lotus. These are hardy lotus. We saw these. This is a 6. This one's called high cotton. Beautiful white flower. Very cool. If anyone's interested. Now guys, we've never ever shipped out aquatic plants before. Generally this stuff is really for local. Could we ship some stuff out? I mean, I guess we could. We have when I say we have zero plants, it's something that we would have to research further to make sure that we do it the right way. Because it's definitely something we don't have any experience in, and I would want to make sure that we do it properly. Any questions?
How much are the water hyacinths?
The water hyacinths they're $6. They're $6 each. Buy 5 for $25. We usually sell them in a group we usually sell them in a group. Yep. Yeah. Buy 5 for $25. We got tadpoles, and let's go inside. Let's show you what's going on indoors. We've been doing a lot of work inside the store the last few weeks, just trying to get this done. I think we've come to a decision that we're going to change out the white plastic on the doors, so that you can actually see outside when you're working at the desk inside, because you can't see anything, which is the reason why we did it, but we may just change the doors. Maybe like a two-way, so that you can't see in, but you can still see out from the outside. So come on in. I've gone over this whole side with you guys before, so I don't need to rehash all of that. But we have our, if you're looking for anything in a store, we do have pretty much everything. Our filtration area, our pump area, our aeration and UV area, water treatments, koi food, right now miscellaneous stuff. And this is actually this is a prototype net that we're developing with the company, and so this net, it comes in different sizes. Some of our customers we're saying, say hi to our customers. So you guys are on the live show right now.
We watch you all the time.
Oh, cool. Excellent. So this is one of the sizes here. I don't know exactly what size this is, but this will come in multiple sizes, and it's deeper, so which we really like compared to some of the other nets we use. And this is although you can't see it, this is actually rubber lined. It's rubber coated, so it'll last longer and it will not harm the fish.
Like the
So
fins won't stick in it like they do.
right. So what happens on a lot of those nets is, when you see these holes here, there's a lot of little tiny holes that make up this circle. And we're getting dizzy just looking at this. It's weird. And the fins on the fish. So it's usually the anal fin can actually get caught when the fish goes into the net. And on this, that won't happen, which is pretty cool. So this is something that we are developing, and then because this stuff is actually really hard to ship, so we went with this design with the handle because you can just go to your local pool store and get a handle for it. And that way we don't have to ship the handle, because the handle is the biggest pain in the butt to ship, because it's long and it's cumbersome, and they actually charge a lot of money for those obscure sizes. So we can send this just like this, and then you guys can get your own handle for it at your local store. It just works out better that way.
What's the price on the net?
I don't have a price for them yet. We're still developing them. I will keep you guys updated on that, because we're gonna get an order in for them soon. But it'll come in a couple of different sizes. And yeah, but pretty cool, nice and tough, really strong. So I'm excited about these.
They hold deep.
Yes, you can see one of the issues that we were having with a lot of the nets that were out there is that you bring the net up to the surface. And remember, guys, this is a pan net, so you don't want to actually be picking the fish up with this, but you want to be able to capture the fish with this and then scoop it out. But if the net is really tight, it's much harder. The fish has an opportunity to get away while you're scooping them up. So having it like this, you can see, this is almost, I'm gonna say it's almost a foot. So that's pretty deep. And you can see that it's rubberized, so it's actually a bit stiffer than like a normal net. But pretty cool.
Sarah Ross wants to know what type of food we have and the price.
Tara, so good question. So we carry a couple of different types of food. So Blackwater is the brand that I've carried from day one, and Blackwater Food, we used to actually be a dealer for Blackwater Creek Koi Farms. We've since now selling Japanese koi, but that's where we got our start. And the food is an excellent food. It's really good. It's fish meal based as a main ingredient, which, guys, whether you're buying food from us or from someone else, you want to make sure that your food is not corn based as a main ingredient. A corn based food, what happens when you eat corn, guys? It's, I don't want to sound gross or anything, but it goes right through you. Okay, it's not getting broken down, and it's not getting absorbed by the body. It's going right through. It's going right back into the water. It's all food source for algae to grow. All right, so you need to try and avoid corn-based foods as a main ingredient. Blue Ridge, Tetra. There's a bunch of them out there that are, the fish may like them because they taste good, but they're not good for the fish, and they're not good. I mean, you're making some fat fish out of it, but you're also going to have really, really murky, nasty water from it.
Catfish.
Huh?
Catfish food. It's fatty.
Yeah, catfish food. I mean, we get customers all the time that will use some of these other types of foods, trap food and catfish food, and I'm not saying cat food, catfish food.
Yeah, it'll get with fatty livers and stuff.
Yeah, stay away from food that you feed me, because we all see what happens when, yeah. So Blackwater is an excellent mid-range food for their growth and their color. And then they have a professional blend, which is their golden N, and that's color, growth, and probiotic. And it comes in a 2-pound, 8.8 pound, and a 40 pound. And we're out of everything. I did order food, but I'm hoping it'll be in next week. But the golden N is color, growth, and probiotic. And then we also have, although they call it cool season, this is their cool season food is really, it's a wheat-based food, and it's really just for an all-season food. If you're not looking to grow your fish, you're looking to just get a food that's just going to sustain your fish, using the cool season food is actually a good food to use. And then we also have show koi. Now, back in the day, Suburban Water Gardens was actually selling show koi food. Bob Bongiorno passed away, and his son Frank took over. And although Suburban Water Gardens is no more, Frank took over the show koi food business, and we've become really good friends. And we started carrying his food. He's actually local here. He's literally 5 minutes away. And there's a lot of customers that actually still use the show koi food, and we've gotten a bunch of customers to come in, and they really like using this food. And this is a wheat-based food as a main ingredient. Anchovy meal, soybean meal, fish oil. Fish definitely like it, and it's another good all year round type of food. Good.
Someone just backwashed their pond and they got murky because they went back in and they wanted to shut it off his bottom drain.
So when you're doing a backwash, if you're doing a backwash, why is it coming out your bottom drain?
He doesn't have a check valve.
You need a check valve. You don't have a check valve before. You need to have a check valve before the filter. That's actually that's right before the pump. Do you have a check valve? Yeah, I mean, you could use a ball valve, but having a check valve is like instantly works. I mean, it just will stop anything from going the other direction. Kathy, did they not put a check valve before the pump? All right, so if they didn't put one before the pump, they need to. Yeah, let me know. Take a picture of the pump for me, because I remember talking to the gentleman about it and saying that you had to put the check valve before the pump. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But no, that should not happen. If you're backwashing, you definitely don't want that ever. The air. So what's happening is the air that's going into the filter is pushing out through the filter, back down and around, through the pump, and then back into the pond. So that's not a good thing. So you got to stop that. And our number one food, and guys, we've looked at a whole bunch of different foods. We carried Nijikawa for a while, and the reason why I don't carry Nijikawa, we get this question a lot. I really like Nijikawa's food. We were actually the ones that we were one of the early adopters of Nijikawa, and we were selling a ton of it, and I really stood behind it. And I'm going to be totally upfront with you. The owner started shipping us old food, and when I complained about it, he was just like, "Who cares? Don't tell the customer." And they love our food, so who cares? And I was like, that's not happening. I'm not selling my customers old food. And he wouldn't take it back, and we finally got him to take it back. And then he just sold that food to somebody else. It was food that was expired, and he just sold it to someone else. So it really showed us what kind of company he was and what kind of person he was. And we will never carry that food again. I know you guys use Nijikawa. I know you guys like the food. You know what? I don't care if he sees this. I don't care if he says something. Don't like him. Don't like his food anymore. Don't like what he did. And I know there's a lot of guys that sell a lot of it, so they're just going to stand behind it. What I will tell these guys that are selling it, check your dates. Make sure that it's not old food. You know, it's not a bad food. It's actually a good food. But make sure that I don't carry it anymore because of the practices that were the experience that I had with it, not because of the food itself. The food is good. You know, what the owner did was a shitty move. And sorry, I cursed. I didn't mean to curse. It was not a cool move, and he tried to justify it, and it didn't go over with me. We did Dainichi's food, and I like Dainichi's food, but the price just got crazy. And quite honestly, it ended up being more than sake haikari, and sake haikari is the best food in the world. The best koi food in the entire world is sake haikari's line of food. Color, growth, multi-season. There is no better food in the world than that. So why do we want to go to these other ones if we're going to carry a mid-level food and a top food? Then might as well just carry the best food there is. So we carry the sake haikari line. I don't carry all the sake haikari food. I carry all the haikari food. I carry the sake, which is their professional line. So it's their growth, their color, and their multi-season. Oh, and then their goldfish food. We carry their goldfish food too. You know, I don't like having duplicates of things. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to, if I have multiple products that do the exact same thing, you know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I have different grades of food for different customers and different budgets. And for me to have two foods that were like sake haikari wouldn't make sense to me. So we carry, you know, good, better, best is basically the way it goes. We do carry some snacks and things. These are things that are great for training your fish. These are koi crunchies. These are from Aquascape, and they are, I believe, a corn-based as a main ingredient. But I don't see the ingredient listed here. Wheat flour. So wheat flour is the main ingredient, and corn. But the idea with a product like this is a treat, and it's teaching. This is a product that you're using to teach your fish how to eat out of your hands. I don't know if is there a seal on it. I think there's a seal. Yeah, it's sealed. So the fish love this stuff. It's like crack for them. They go crazy for it. And the cool thing about it is because it's a stick and it kind of dissolves in the water. You can see it there. It's just like eating Cheetos. Jameson, have you tried one?
No.
Did Zach try one?
No.
Okay. I thought Zach would have tried it. I've seen him eat a couple of questionable things. You can hold this in the water, so you can put part of it in the water and then hold the rest of it, and really teach your fish to come and eat out of your hands, which is pretty cool. So it's a great product for doing that. So as far as I know, Aquascape's the only one that has a product that's like that. This is Ebi Koi Diet, and this is a great treat, and it's good for color. So this is equal to like 14 pounds of dried shrimp. And fish also absolutely love this. It's funny. I see fish either go crazy for it or they don't eat it at all. It may have a lot to do with what the fish grew up with as far as what food they were eating. Hi, Bodie. Bodie, you can't play right now, buddy. Bodie just wants to play with the ball. Bodie has a one-track mind, which is ball, 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 stick, stick, stick. She loves her toys. And then once you do one thing with her, oh no. Jameson. That ball went under there, but it's never coming out. All right. So, any other questions regarding that? I am going to talk about aeration again, guys. And I know that I've talked about it every week. Let's go around to this side, Jameson. And the reason why I'm going to talk about aeration again is because it's starting to get warm out. Here, why don't you go over there? So, it's funny, like, people keep asking why I have this wood under this table like this. It's actually that, this wood was sitting on the ground for probably 15 years, and it was really twisted, and I can't get the twist out of it. So better that I have the wood underneath there, and the whole table doesn't move around, than to leave it open and then someone leans on it and the whole table flips over. So that's why the table kind of looks the way it does. Guys, let's talk aeration just for a minute. So aeration does a lot of things. It's super important. You know, we had a customer come in this morning, and we were going over their pond with them, and I asked them, all right, tell me about the features of your pond, and they said, well, we have a skimmer and we have a waterfall box. And I said, well, what about aeration? He said, well, we have an aerator, but we put it away. We put it away for the winter, after the winter was over. And I said, whoa. You know, aeration is actually the most important feature of your ponds. Waterfalls provide what we call surface oxygen. An aerator will destratify the pond. An aerator will actually go down, we'll take the low oxygenated water from the bottom of the pond, and it'll mix it with the higher oxygenated water from the top of the ponds. It's something you should be running all year long. It's not just for winter. Winter is the bonus. So aeration provides oxygen for your fish. It provides oxygen for your beneficial bacteria. So super important, especially if you have rocks in your pond. The rocks can grab a lot of solids and organics. So having that aeration to help break that down, the aeration to feed the beneficial bacteria, which is like a steroid to them, and they'll actually work harder to break the debris down. Super important. I mean, that's why when you go to a golf course and you see aerators in the pond, those aerators are feeding the beneficial bacteria that breaks down the organics in the ponds, and the organics in the pond are the food source for the algae. Okay? Less organics, less algae. Okay? So super, super important from that perspective. So provides oxygen for the fish, provides oxygen for the beneficial bacteria, and also the nitrifying bacteria. The nitrifying bacteria is the bacteria that breaks down the ammonia and nitrite in the ponds. Different types of bacteria do different things in the pond. Super, super important. It also creates current and flow. So it'll pull debris up from the bottom, and then it'll push it in a direction. And the great thing about having a skimmer is that because it's pushing in a direction, if your skimmer is over here, your waterfall is over here. You keep the aerator around the waterfall to the left or to the right, or both underneath the waterfall. Anything that's going to help push debris towards the skimmer. Don't put the aerator in front of the skimmer because it's going to create surface turbulence and it's going to block debris from getting into the skimmer, which is that's not the result you want with your skimmer. Your skimmer is there to pull as much debris out of the pond as possible into a net so that you can get it out of the ponds. My goal when it comes to filtration is get it out of the ponds. Okay? So if the skimmer, if the aeration is helping you do that, make sure you use it the right way. It's all about filtration, circulation, and aeration. Okay? Your aeration, your circulation will work in tandem. And in the wintertime, the added benefit is that it keeps a hole in the ice and degasses the ponds. So a lot of customers will only, you know what, Bodie, I'll get that for you. Bodie is just sitting here very patiently. She's like, please, someone just get this ball for me. I'm going to get it for you. Oy. Where is it? I don't even see it, Bodie. Oh my God, it's all the way over there. Hold on, Bodie. Hold on. I don't even know if I can reach that. Oy. I got it. Is this what you were looking for? It's all gross and dirty. Do you want that? Do you want me to go like that? All right. Yeah, she's on to other things now. Any other questions about aeration? If you don't have an aerator in your pond, guys, you need to get one. It's not one of those things like, should I get an aerator? You need to have an aerator in your pond. It's really important. It's getting hot. The hotter it is, the less oxygen is in your pond. Okay, super, super important. You have a lot of fish, you need to have strong aeration in your pond. It's not just based on your gallons, it's also based on your fish load. Okay, the more fish you have, the more aeration you need. Any questions regarding aeration?
The guy wants to know how much he should feed his fish. He's trying to grow them out.
Okay, so this question comes up a lot, and although there are formulas for it, in a general sense, when it comes to feeding, if you're feeding your fish once to twice a day, you're basically sustaining them. So you're kind of they're They're eating. You're feeding once a day. You're feeding them enough to survive. You're feeding them twice a day. Maybe they'll get a little bit bigger. If you want to grow your fish, you need a couple of things. It's not just about the food. All right, filtration is super important, and the reason why I say that is the more you feed the fish, the more waste they create. The more waste they create, the more bio you need to handle the waste that's created by the fish. So if you want to grow your fish out, you better make sure that you have proper filtration, and you need to make sure that you have an easy way to do water changes, because doing water changes is super important. Otherwise, your water is going to get nasty. It's going to get toxic super, super quick. All right, so going along with growing out your fish, you need to make sure you have proper filtration. Okay, super important. And in order to grow your fish out, you need to really feed them 4 to 5 times a day. Getting a feeder that's continually feeding them is going to do that. You want to make sure you're using a quality growth food or a quality food, and you're only doing it certain times a year. You want to make sure that first your beneficial bacteria, your nitrosomonas and nitrobacteria, are in full swing. Because if they're not in full swing yet, feeding them a whole bunch is basically just going to make your pond very toxic. And as you do it, as you want to grow out your fish, you need to kind of ramp it up. All right, so you need to have your testers. Make sure you have ammonia, nitrate, pH, KH testers available, and you need to gradually feed more and more. You can't, if you just feed a whole bunch right away, you're going to get an ammonia spike pretty quickly, and you need to make sure you can handle that. So the more you feed them, the more beneficial bacteria, nitrosomonas, nitrobacter bacteria, you're going to need. So as you feed them, more bacteria is going to form, and it's going to colonize your filter house, your biological filter. It'll eventually be able to handle it to a point, and then it's going to get to a point where you're creating more waste than the beneficial bacteria can handle. And there's 2 things you can do there. You can either cut down, or you can add more surface area for your beneficial bacteria, so that you can have more bacteria to handle the waste. So it's not just about throwing more food in. You need to make sure that your system can handle what you're throwing at it. Does that make sense?
And how do we know beneficial bacteria is in full swing?
Oh well, I mean, you're going to know because you're going to if you're continually getting ammonia spikes, or you have ammonia all the time, then your system is either not ready to go, or your system is not big enough for what you're throwing at it. So if you're continually seeing ammonia spikes, then your system is either not ready, or it's not prepared for what you're feeding them, and you're not going to be able to continue doing what you're doing until you do something about it. And when I say do something about it, you need to make sure that your alkalinity is where it needs to be. Keep it 125 plus. If your alkalinity is low, your beneficial bacteria, both your sludge-eating bacteria and your nitrifying bacteria, are going to work like this. I mean, they're going in slow motion. Okay. When your alkalinity is low, they're going really slow. So when you boost it up, we use baking soda, or you can use a product like KH Booster. Microblip makes one. You can use baking soda like an Arm & Hammer baking soda. It's a half cup or 1,000 gallons. We'll raise it 20 points. And if you understand the measures of doing KH, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's a little bit difficult to explain here. But I can explain a little bit. All right, so you want to get to 125, and that's, you can go from 125 to 300 on your KH. You test it and it comes out at 105. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. You test it, it comes out at 105, and your pond is 1,000 gallons. Well, it's a half a cup of baking soda per 1,000 gallons will raise it 20 points. So you want to go up 20 points to get from 105 to 125. You're going to add a half a cup of baking soda. If your pond is bigger, you need to calculate based on the size of your pond. A half a cup of baking soda per 1,000 gallons will raise it 20 points. Everyone understand that?
What should my pond temperature be before shipping my fish?
You want to be in the 60s. So if we have fish that we're holding for you, your pond needs to be in the 60s, to be the safest. When you do receive fish, you want to make sure you acclimate that for a good hour. Just let the bag sit and let it acclimate. A minimum of 45 minutes. If you can do an hour, do an hour. I know that sometimes it's hard, especially if there's something going on in the bag, and sometimes things happen. But I know Michael and Jameson, here, I have the camera here. So Jameson does a lot of packing of the bags, as does Michael. So you pack, you fill the bags with what?
With water, Gourmet, actually Ultimate, and Albert Van.
So we use a product called El Bajin, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And we use that. That's actually really good for, and we'll get calls from the customer saying, "Oh, the water's really dirty." It's actually not dirty. It'll actually turn brown from the El Bajin.
It's very yellow.
Yeah, it's kind of a yellowish color. Yeah, so we use that in there, and that actually does a couple of things. It calms the fish. It can,
It's an ammonia binder, and it's also antibacterial.
Yeah, so it's antibacterial, and it's an ammonia binder, so it's really good for shipping. And then we triple bag.
Yes.
Good. We triple bag. It's always good to triple bag. What are you laughing at, Jameson?
Oh, no.
So we triple bag. I mean, a lot of the companies that we have dealt with in the past do not. They'll actually put a single bag or a double bag. We actually triple bag. We use quite a few rubber bands, and we've knock on wood, haven't had any issues using triple bags. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. So we've talked about food. We'll do water treatments another day. Filtration. We can talk about filtration. So we are the biggest dealer and installer of green reset filters in the entire country. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, I have hundreds of these out in the field. We sell so many of these filters. We've actually worked with the manufacturer in Italy very closely. We work with them to redesign this handle. They used to have a different styled handle, and this is the new style handle on it. They actually are beefing it up. They actually beefed up the inlet and outlet on here. They've made it a bit stronger. This is, we've looked at every filter out there. This is the GR100. The GR100 has dual 25 watt UVs. The GR60 has dual 20 watt. The 40 has one 20 watt, and the 25 has one 10 watt. You can see there's the pricing right there. $470 on the 25, $550 on the 40, $700 on the 60, and $900 on the 100. It really is an amazing filter. It works really, really well. We actually just sold one to a customer who was having lots of problems with their filtration, and they tried a bunch of other things. I just got a text from him. I could show you. You have my phone. He was raving about, within one day, his whole pond cleared up, and he was super, super excited. So let's talk about this. So you have the band here. This band is a clasp, and that keeps the bottom body together with the top of the body here. So that closes in here. On the 60 and the 100, they have filter pads on the inside. It's a big square filter pad. Go ahead. Question?
James Hogan wants to know, Pat Rizzo wants to know what size, what does it look like for a 3,100 gallon as an add-on?
But I would do the GR100. So for a 3,100 gallon ponds, I would definitely I would go with the biggest filter. You can put, depending on the distance the water has to travel, you could put a 5,000 to 6,000 mag drive pump. You cannot, all right, let's take a look here. You cannot put a direct drive pump like this on one of these filters. It will literally explode. You need to use a mag drive pump. So we either use the Atlantic TTs, or you can use The AquaSurge pumps are a good one for this as well. You could even do the AquaScape SLD, but you cannot use a direct drive pump. Okay, these are a magnetically driven pump. Their head pressure is a lot low. They lose a lot of flow with head. So head is the vertical head height. The higher it goes, the less the pump is able to go. The direct drive pumps will actually work better with more pressure, and it will literally explode the filter. So you cannot use them on this unless you did like a three-way valve and you sent some water to the filter and the other water bypassed the filter. We've done that for a few customers that have had, they didn't want to buy a new pump, they had one that was existing. So that's understandable. So on this filter, water goes in, water goes out. Okay, and then water goes to waste. Usually I upgrade these. I'll put a ball valve. I'll put a ball valve on the waistline so you can open and close it, and we'll put a sight glass here so that you can actually see the dirty water as it's coming through. When you're going to do a backwash on it, you turn the pump off, and come on over here, Jameson. Right here, you can see, I don't know if you can see it on here, it says filter and it says clean right here. So you go from filter and you go to clean. See that? And then you do the same thing on this side. It says filter and you go to clean. Now, when I push down on this, here you can see what I'm doing here. When I push down on this, there's a lot of resistance. So what happens when I turn these, it engages a paddle. The paddle on the inside, it spans the width of this body. And when I'm pushing down like this, it's actually crushing and smushing the filter pads like you're squeezing out a mop. So you're squishing it down. I'm pushing this down like this. It's now squeezing all the filter pads in there, and it's squishing all the solids, all the muck, all the nasties that are in the filter pads out. The pump, you turn the pump on, you push this down, this is now open. The pump is now pushing all the dirty water out. And you know when you're done, when the water is clear coming out of the waste. So what I'll usually do is I'll give this a couple of pumps like so. I'll go like this. I'll hold it down. You'll see the dirty water coming out. Like I said, I like to put a sight glass on this, but you may just have the water shooting out right here, but in a lot of cases you want to have some plumbing that's going to go all the way out to some destination. And if you do that, you want to have some kind of sight glass on here because it just makes life much easier. All right, so once you're done, water is now clear. You just pull this back up like this. This goes up. You pull this up like this and go back to filter mode, pull that up like that, and it just drops right down. And you're done. Go ahead.
This be added to a wetland fitted pond.
This can be added to any system where there's an in and an out. All right, so if your pump is pumping out towards wherever it's going, you're going to cut that line, take that line, go into the in, and then the out is going to go back out to where you're going to, if there's a line right here, you're going to cut that line, it's going to go in, and then the other side of that is going to go into the out, and then it's going to continue on its path to wherever it has to go. I retrofit a lot of these in between a waterfall box, so it'll be a skimmer going from a skimmer to a waterfall box. I find the line, cut the line, then I go into the in, and then the out goes back into the waterfall box, and now you have a UV on there, and now you have a filter that you can easily backwash, compared to taking out all the filter pads and washing them. And in a lot of cases, you can actually take the filter pads out of the waterfall box if that's the setup that you have, and just have this going. And if you need more bio, you put more bio into the waterfall box. That's up to you. But great filters, work really, really well. Any other questions? Please don't hesitate to ask.
They also have a UV too. I don't know if that's a question.
Yes. So if someone's commenting, they do all the units have a UV built into them. The largest unit is the EVO 100. It has dual 25 watt bulbs in it. So it has two 25 watt bulbs in it. The 60 has dual 20 watt bulbs in it. So it's got 40 watts total, 50 watts total, 10 watts, and 20 watts for the smaller guys. And that's the pricing on there. guys, we follow what we call a map pricing. So when you see it here, the price is the same online. So we try and do the same price as everyone else so that we can be fair. Yes.
What kind of filtration do I need for a 28,000 gallon pool supply?
A 28,000 gallon what?
This is 28,000 gallon pool supplies. I think they.
What kind? I'm just reading your note here. What kind of filtration do I need for a 28,000 gallon?
Maybe it used to be a pool.
Pond, not pool supplies. Gotcha. So it was.
Say that.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna come on over here. So this is a 3-inch, and if you have a pond that's that large, hopefully they already plumbed it with 3-inch. Now, on a 28,000 gallon pond, I would have multiple versions of this filter. This is a 10.3 cubic foot. On a 28,000 gallon pond, and I've done a couple of them that size. So, for instance, we built a pond for the owner of the New York Mets 2 years ago now. And that pond is roughly around 25,000 gallons. I have 3 of these 10.3 cubic foot bead filters on there. And the reason why is you want to double to triple your filtration based on your gallonage, guys. You want to have good turnover, but at the same time, you need to double and triple your filtration because you're not building it based on what the pond is today. You're building it based on where it's going to be 3, 5, 7 years from now. Your fish are going to get bigger. You're going to add more fish. They may spawn and have babies, and you may have more fish that way. Your filter needs to be able to handle where the fish are going 3, 5, 7 years from now. So if your pond is 28,000 gallons, you need to make sure you double to triple your filtration based on that. So on a 28,000 gallon pond, one, you want to make sure you have all 3-inch plumbing because you need to be able to turn over the pond. Turnover means taking the contents of the pond and putting it through the filter X amount of times per hour. You can only put X amount of water through a 2-inch, through a 1-inch, through a 3-inch. So you can, and we've done this experiment many times, guys. You can, and we actually did this just recently. We had, Performance Pro makes a 1 horsepower pump. Okay, they have an Artesian 2 2-inch 1 horsepower pump, and then they have an Artesian Pro 3-inch version with the same motor. Hi, how are you? He'll be with you in a couple of minutes. So it's the exact same motor. One pump is 2-inch, one pump is 3-inch. On the 2-inch version of that pump, and again, the motor is exactly the same. On the 2-inch Artesian 2, we're able to do about 4,200 gallons an hour. On the exact same pump running 3-inch, we're able to get between 7,500 and 8,000 gallons an hour. Same motor, going from 2-inch to 3-inch. Literally doubled the amount of flow. Okay? Going with this filter, it's 3-inch in and out. Internals, it's got internals that can handle the flow. It's got all 3-inch. You want to go with 3-inch pumps, 3-inch UVs. And you can see I don't have any Artesian Pro pumps, but 3-inch UVs. This is the Metalla. And you're going to do, depending on where it's located, you may end up doing multiple UVs. This is the 300 watt. Yes, sir. It's on the front there. No. It's on the front of the. I don't remember, sir. That was a 7-inch pot. I think it was 19. I'm not sure. It was 1999, right? So this is the 3-inch version of that UV. Now you can come out of that pump and you come out of that filter and then split it into 2 2-inch. You can split it into 3 2-inch. There's all sorts of ways you can do it, and then you can go with a smaller UV. I don't know, 150 watt on a 150 watt. I don't think that plan is that expensive. Yeah. It's not a floating. He's got the pitcher plants, and I think it's 19. I believe.
Wally Boyd said we have a 4,200 gallon pond, a big skimmer, plants, 2 waterfalls.
I'm going to turn this around to read this here. So we have a whole bunch of customers here at the same time. Hey, Wally, so 4,200 gallon ponds, big scale plants, and 2 waterfalls, a new 52 or 54 watt UV, still not clear water, covered pond with sails. So Wally, if you want, we can talk offline if you want us to follow up with you, and we can talk about how we can help you get your pond filtered properly and to look a bit better than what you're seeing right now. A 54 watt on there is probably not enough. Mila, sorry about that. A 54 watt is probably not enough on there. I know you have the sails on there, but when you're saying it's not clear, what is it you're actually seeing? Is the water green, or are you seeing a lot of solids in the ponds? So that's the question I have to ask. If you're seeing a lot of solids, then we need to work on both your mechanical filtration as well as your biological, and then we can also add UV to that to make that work a bit better.
So it's green, I'll call you later.
Okay. Why? We'll talk later. No problem. Any other comments on the 28,000 gallon ponds?
Well, this whole kind of filtration, that's about it.
Right. So what kind of filtration do you have on it now? Is it something you're building, or is it something that's built? Okay. So if you want, I'm happy to work with you on designing the filtration for that pond. I can show you a whole bunch of examples of things that I've built and what they look like, so that you can really get the best education you can on how we do things here. So let's come this way. So we've been working diligently to get this part set up. We got some tadpoles in. You can see our little tadpoles here. Some of them have legs. You can see them right there. Any with legs? These guys are very cute. These are bullfrog tadpoles. I'm not sure if you can see them that well. I don't know if there's a way to really get rid of the glare, but
I can get the bottom, guys.
yeah, it's kind of hard to see on the glare. And then we have snails here. These are trapdoor snails over here. I don't know if I can grab one of these guys. So there's actually a formula. We have to look it up, but there is a formula for how many. Now, snails can actually clean up a lot of the algae that's in a pond, but you have to have X amount of snails for X amount of square footage in the ponds. You can get rid of that. That shouldn't be here at all, so we'll just get rid of that. So this is a trapdoor snail, and it's a decent size. So this is, probably about almost 2 inches across here. I'm sure he doesn't like me holding him here. So we're going to put you back in. I know you were stuck against the side. I don't think that's going to, you're not going to do that. So we're just going to put you back down. I don't want you to go upside down. This guy's upside down. We'll flip you over.
Do snails survive the winter?
I believe these do. Hey, Trav, you come across some spring openings that had trapdoor snails in, right? They survive? Yeah. So we're in New York, and the trapdoor snails do survive here. I mean, if your winters are similar to New York's winters, then I'm going to say yes. They will come back. We are actually still working on the filtration for this. You see the water's a bit murky, but we are working on that. I may actually put a green reset on there. I think maybe we'll just use one of the smaller ones on the out before it goes there. Just we'll talk about that. Yeah. So I had a couple of Tamasaba. So the guys grabbed those and they put them in the tanks. But this really came out nice. We had to replace a couple of boards here. So we turned the aerators on overnight, but we didn't adjust the aerators. So some of the tanks, the air was like blowing really, really high, and the water was pouring out, and everything. We came in and the water was all over the place. Everything got soaking wet, and the wood did sop up a bunch of water and expanded, and so yeah, we had to replace a couple of boards. It is what it is. So these are actually Tamasaba in here. I've had these guys since they were about 2 inches, and they've grown out to really big Tamasaba. I have one left in the greenhouse, which we're going to put in here because I'm sure he would rather be in here. Huh? We need to find it. I don't.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
I'm not sure. I think he might be with the Shinoda. I think. This is the goldfish tank here. Right now right now we're treating it. So the fish in here, I have fish in here. We're not selling these fish yet because they're in quarantine. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything in here right now because there's a lot of foam on the water from the treatments. Jameson just unplugged it so you can kind of see in here. So I have shubunkins, Sarasa comets, calico fantails, and red fantails. So the red fantails are a big red with a double split tail. The calico fantails also have a double split tail, but they're calico. They look like shubunkins, but with a double split tail. And then we have shubunkins and Sarasa. Sarasa look like kohaku and Tancho kohaku. So they're red and white. A lot of them just have a red spot on their head. So you can see right there, he's looking at the red or orange ones there are the red fantail. So it's got a split tail. And then right back there, one just passed by. Here's one. There's a couple in here. You can see the calico fantails. They're actually, compared to the other guys, almost double the price of the red fantails. Yeah, there it goes. So we just had a connection issue. But so these fish will be available quarantine procedure. Our quarantine on these guys is slightly less than the quarantine on koi. But we still go through a quarantine procedure, so although they're in here and you can see them, they are not available for purchase just yet. These guys are between 5 and 6 inches. Pretty cool. Thanks, Jameson. So this area is almost complete. So this is our bonsai area here. So here's some really nice bonsai pots. These are the higher end pots that Chris started putting out here. I don't know if there's no pricing actually on them yet. So a lot of these are actually signed pots. They're signed and numbered pots. And that's actually in the shape of Africa. That was made in Africa.
All right, so your son say Texas.
He did?
Yeah, both of them.
They did?
Yes.
Okay. No comments. But it's in the shape of the continent of Africa. But these are all, you can see all these are signed and stamped here. I don't know what that says. If Chris is watching, he could tell me what that says. But and I will try. Well, you got that out of that? Okay. I can see that. I don't know if, see, there's two in this one. If these are both by the same, okay. Yeah, these are the same Saldano over here. That's a really cool one. You know, what's interesting about this, how everyone's got different tastes. Just like Jameson, what's your favorite music?
I like a little bit of everything.
Jameson likes a little bit of everything, but is there something in particular you like more than everything else?
I like psychedelic rock.
He likes psychedelic rock. So me, I like classical music. I like kind of more of like a chill out radio on Pandora kind of music, Moby and stuff like that. That's my kind of music. I can just sit and listen to that all the time. Or classical music. I actually have classical music playing right now. So this is the same thing when you're looking at all these bonsai pots. Everyone has a different taste. That being said, there are different styles of pots for different styles of trees. So Chris would be the one to really talk about that more. And we're ramping up right now. We're going to start. We're working on the website right now for the bonsai. We're adding all the supplies in. Here's the supplies here. These are the tables that Chris custom made. And these are tables that you can see here. Just loosen that there, and you can spin the tree around on these. He calls it the blue Eco. They're $275, and this enables you to work on the tree and spin it around with you not having to move around the tree. The tree will just spin, kind of like a lazy Susan. And then you just lock that in when you get in the position that you want. So Chris fabricated all this. He fabricated this shelving here. So he is a welder. So he made Chris is like a jack of all trades. So he made all these, and he made this new shelving here. So this is going to go here like this. So we have to, maybe I'll work on this today and get this out of the way. That's going to go here, and then we have some thick wood shelving that's going to go right here and kind of finish off this area here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do down there. We have to put a sink and another toolbox in that area so that we have a bagging table for the fish that we have here. And I think at this point we can really start talking about fish. It's now 12:30. I've been chatting for what, an hour and a half. That was an hour and a half we've been talking. Holy cow! How many people are on? 30 people on. Let's start doing some fish. Don't know why the sign is on the ground. So today, one of the questions last week was, are we going to do any?
Those are both the same.
Are we going to do any tosai? I don't know why that's there. Stick that there. So today we're going to do some tosai, and then we're going to do nisai, and we can do some bigger fish. And what we usually do, and I can just do it, Jameson, I'll just take the camera and I'll show you guys some stuff. Here are the aoki, $100 aoki. We just sent 1,000 of these fish off to Aquascape. If you guys have seen the fish and the Aquascape videos that have been getting posted, those are actually came from here. Pretty cool. These are our Shinoda. These are going for 500. Some really nice fish in here. So you have Hiyutsuri, Ginrin Showa, a couple of Kujaku in here. Some Deutsch Kohaku. Maybe a couple of Deutsch Showa in here. Here we have from Tanaka and Fukusawa. So we have a lot of Gosanke in here. And we also have some larger Shoshiki. So the Shoshiki are the new type from Tanaka, and they're a mix. They're a mix of a Goshiki and a Shusui. And I can show you a couple of those in here. I don't know if I've ever shown you the Nisai guys. So we can show you a couple of those. These guys are going for 600 in here. So speaking of fish, received my shipment this morning. Amazing koi. They're always better when you get them in person. Thank you, Chris. Chris, thank you, thank you. Highly recommend Koi Market. Thank you. I'm going to hit like here. James Hogan, are you going to be getting any more of the fiberglass koi? Not right now. So the fiberglass koi I got were from a friend of mine who got them from Indonesia, and when I tell you, like, he had a hell of a time with those fish getting them in, it was a bit of a nightmare. the place where he got them, he had a lot of difficulties, and they didn't ship half the shipment. It was a bit of a nightmare for him, and so he's definitely not getting them in. I may be able to get them from another source, but not right now. Kristen is saying, "How are the Shoshiki?" Yes, we did get some. I'm gonna, you know what? Let's do something fun. Let's start with the Shoshiki. I'm gonna grab a couple of those because those are really unique. Something you guys haven't seen. Maybe I'll grab a couple of other ones from the 600. So this is what we're gonna do, Jameson. Let's move that bowl. I'm gonna stand this up for a second, and let's move this out of the way here. Okay. So we are just going to, Jameson's just spraying the bowl. He's going to bring it over here. We're going to set up the camera. And here we go. We're going to set the camera up. You guys can see we're going to grab some water. And we're going to move this a little bit closer. So it covers over everything. They're like candy canes in your pond. Cool. I like that. I'll pull this over a little bit. I don't know if that helps anything here. The spray is just alcohol spray. Hi, how are you?
Isn't there more trees in the back there? I saw off the highway.
Oh no, you look, that's American Nursery. That's next door.
Oh, next door.
Yes. Yeah. You're welcome. We got a lot of people that come in thinking that this is American Nursery next door. So we sprayed a little alcohol. The question was like, what was that? We sprayed some alcohol just to get rid of the bubbles. I'm going to grab some fish. Jameson, if you want to man the camera for me while I'm doing this, just see if anyone has any comments or questions. I'm going to grab a couple of fish. These fish are going for $600 each. Some very nice fish in here. What are we going to grab? I'm going to grab a couple of things, not just Shoshiki. I have an asagi in here. Grab the asagi. Let's see, what else do we want to grab? We're going to grab some Shoshiki here. There's a nice one. No, not yet. I'm just picking out some fish. We have some Ochiba in here. I have a good mix of fish in here. Give me a couple of seconds, guys, while I grab some of these. Definitely some uniques here. This is a Sakura poncho. And there's a really nice Ginrin Shiro and a Ginrin Tancho. I'm going to put these in just so you have something to look at, and then I'm going to grab some more Shoshiki.
Take a little water out.
Yeah. All right, Jameson's going to hang out here and make sure that they tell him not to jump. Just looking for some unique fish here.
So these are
Oh, sorry. All right, so let's start with these. So, this is a bowl of uniques in here. Jameson, you can man the phone and let me know if anyone wants to see anything. So, we have Asagi in here. Where's the net? Here it is.
what size are these?
These guys are bigger. These guys are 12 to 14 inch. These are going for 600 each. And I have fish from, these are fish from both Fukusawa and Tanaka in here. So here, this is the Shoshiki. I have two of these in the bowl. And it is a mix of a Goshiki, so it's Deutsch, so it's a mix of a Goshiki and a Shusui. Real unique scalation down the spine. Nice red bird color. And you can definitely see the mix of the Goshiki and the Shusui in there.
Is that a Sange
Where?
or a Showa?
This is Showa, and these are both Showa. So this is the Shoshiki, and then where's the other Shoshiki? There's another Shoshiki in here. This one's a bit more red. He's on the skinnier side. I'm gonna put him back because this guy needs to eat a donut. Let's get a donut for you. You're very skinny. I'm gonna look for another Shoshiki. If anyone has any questions about what you're seeing in the bowl, please ask. These are 12 to 14 inch. Some of them may be up to 15 inch. All right, I'm looking for more. Just give me a second. I see another one here. What was that? Shoshiki. S-H-O. I do have a few of them. Come on, guys. Okay. These are all Nissan, yes. Okay, we got a bunch of fish in the bowl now. So these are all $600 each. These are shoshiki. Here's one here. Here's another. Here's actually 3 of them. You can see they're a bit big for this net. We have a tape measure in here? No tape measure. No, I was just going to take a quick measurement. But so here's shoshiki number 1. Check this guy out. Pretty cool. Guys are going for $600 each. This one is probably about 13 inches.
The one with black stripes on back, and what sex?
This one right here, very cool. This is a Benny Kikakiryu. I love the scalation down the spine. What's really cool is that it's a long scale, which is really different than what you usually see. It's a long scale that stretches across the spine. Very cool looking fish. Benny Kikakiryu. All these fish in this bowl are $600 each. Guys, we have free shipping on Southwest when you spend $650 or more. Okay, we can ship other methods, but it's not free. Let me know what you want to see here. I'll show you. Let's start with this shoshiki right here. Here's the first one. We have any takers on this shoshiki? This fish is a good 14 to 15 inch. It's one of the bigger fish in the bowl.
And the last one, what sex? I think it's just like the one you just showed with the last scale of the Venekito.
This one here.
Yes.
What is the gender?
Yes. Yeah, can you feel the grit on his face?
No. I mean, it's tough to tell. It could be female. A little tough to tell. Definitely tough. I mean, at this point right now, they're in that's spawning mode. You can feel the sandpaper on some of them, so you can feel the roughness on their gill plates. This is super smooth right here, and a more rounded pectoral fin. Could be female. Definitely a cool fish going for $600. Do we have any takers on this?
Take it.
Okay.
Yeah, Rizzo, so.
All right. So do you have your phone with you?
Yes.
So if you're able to take a picture with this phone, you're going to take a picture of the fish, and then you're going to write the customer's name on it, like write Rizzo on there. Okay. Deal with them. These guys are bigger, so let's deal with the koi sock. Very nice pick. Okay. Sorry, I dropped it in the water. This thing doesn't stay very well. Do we have any clips in here? Here. We'll cut this after. I just zip tied the phone to the to the bowl temporarily because it keeps falling. All right, next fish. Where's the net? It's a very nice kohaku. This is super, super red, guys. This fish is, again, 15 inches plus. Shiroji is super, super white. The red, the Benny red, is red, red on this fish. This is from Tanaka Koi Farm. We have any takers on this kohaku. This is red, red. You can actually see shoulders forming very nicely. I think this is going to be a big fish.
Linda Harwood said, "Do you have any more like that?" I don't know if she's talking about.
Are you talking about the previous fish that sold, or are you talking about this kohaku? I do have more Benny Kikos if you're interested in that. Any takers on this kohaku before we move on? Very nice kohaku. Red, red. Shiroji white is super white. Any takers? Jameson, anyone? Anyone interested?
She's the one who sold, but there's nobody saying they want it.
Okay, all right. We're going to move on from the kohaku then, if no one wants to take this. Let's go with the Showa. Some very nice Showa here. Check out this Showa from Tanaka. Nice symmetrical motor on the pectoral fins. Nice sumi forming on the head. Sumi forming on the face. And it's coming up right over here. Nice balance of color. The red is red, red. Any takers? These guys are going for $600 each. It's $650 for free shipping on Southwest Cargo. Right now we're talking about this Showa right here. I do have multiple Showa in here. If you want to see a different one, let me know. You gotta tell me if anyone's saying anything.
Yeah, same as before. She just wants something like a Benny.
Alright, so guys, take a look in this bowl. See if there's anything else you may be interested in while I go look for another fish. Okay? Just give me a couple of seconds. Alright, I grabbed two fish here. I grabbed a really nice Kujaku also. I'm going to take some fish out. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take the other Showa out that no one jumped on, just to make some room here. Okay, so we have a really, really unique armor scaled Benny Kiko. Who is it that asked about the Benny Kiko?
Hardwood.
Linda, here we go. Very, very unique scalation on this Benny Kiko. Also, Tancho, mark on the head.
Do you have any more Kiko Kiryu?
Kiko Kiri will be black and white. Let me take a look. But here's a Benny Kiko. Do we have any takers on this Benny Kiko? Very, very unique armor scale.
Just that,
This fish is awesome.
She'll take it if it's available.
Which one? The Kiko? Or this one?
I think that's what she's talking about. Like, Joe Coffee. Say, ask Maggie Blank if she put this.
Maggie, you had said something first. Maggie, are you talking about this fish?
Yes.
Okay. Now, who was the other person that was asking before?
Afterwards, it's Joe Coffee.
No. Before Joe. The first person that asked for this. No, it was a woman that asked. The original person that said, do we have any more?
Linda Larwood.
Linda, are you passing on this fish? It was Maggie Blank. Can Maggie take this fish if you're not taking it? Since you asked first, you have first dibs. If you're not taking this, then Maggie's going to take it. Just got to let me know, Linda.
And then Elizabeth said, do you have any more like this? So I guess they want you to pull more.
All right, well, I'll take a look and see what else I have. All right, so Linda, you're not taking this fish?
Let her have it.
Okay, Maggie, this fish is yours. You got a picture of it? Guys, take a look in this bowl. Good morning, Joe. How's it going? There's a real unique Sakura Tancho here. There's a really, really nice Kujaku. Check out this Kujaku, guys. Really nice scalation. Nice reticulation on this Kujaku. Also a Sagi, a very nice Ginrin Shiro here. A really nice, well-balanced pattern Tancho Sanke right here. Take a look at these fish. Going to give it a little bit of air, but take a look at those fish, and I'm going to look for a couple more. Come on. Sorry. Fish I just had got away. Trying to fill this bowl with some uniques here. Not in this time.